Happy Sunday, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. We are on day 160. We are in Judah 10, 11, and 12. And we're about to get into it. Let's see. All right. Sawubona, ya yibo sawubona. Yes. All right, y'all. Listen, let me find my place in here. We're going to go ahead and get right into the reading today. When we left off, we know that Judah had just finished her prayer. Now, it was time to go up. All right. It is Sunday, May the 31st. May the 31st, 2020. We're about to be in June tomorrow. May 31st, 2020. Day 160. You ready to hit? Hey. All right. Okay, Tiffany. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the reading. And I give a couple comments about a little bit of strategy our people should be following. I gave some, but it's more. I'm looking at everything that's happening and how some of the rebels among us, the cause that we've been fighting for, looking at it over the last few years and what happens and the pattern and everything, we got to be smarter. We got to rein in the rebels among us. There is a better way to do this, and we can hit them using their very own strategies, and we ain't got to be secretive about it. We just gonna put it out there because there is nothing that they can do. All our people, we have to be verbal about it so our people can hear. We must call out the orders from the furthest post and the closest post to make sure everybody here. And we got video cameras and live recorders, and we're sharing it to social media and YouTube so all our people can hear. Everybody's watching, and you must use the proper hashtags for everything that's going on so the people can hear, so they can get it in order and line up. We got to move with the solidarity of Martin Luther King, and we got to move with the firmness and the control that Malcolm X had. And we got to learn from the previous mistakes, how they infiltrated our ranks to continue to keep us divided, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to need y'all to start praying and fasting with me. I'm telling you, Yah is giving instruction to his people. Y'all going to see them clean this protesting up a little bit, and you're going to see how they're going to start hitting them where it hurts. And there is nothing that they are going to be able to do about it. Y'all, let me do this reading real quick. All right, Judah chapter 10. Now, after that, she had ceased to cry. I would say, you know what, guys? I'm going to go back and read the prayer. I know we do 3 chapters a day, but let me just refresh you with the prayer that Judith prayed for her people during the time where they were about to be slaughtered. We can liken this time until now. So let's go back a chapter today, and we're going to start with her prayer. Remember, Judith was a righteous woman whose husband had passed away while he was working. And she was righteous, and her nation knew she was a righteous woman. But after her husband passed away, she decided to solely dedicate herself unto Yah. Like she had her attention was not divided in any way. It was divided while she was married, yet not divided because she was still faithful to him. But she was able to give Yah undivided devotion from the time her husband passed. And Yah gave favor to her and gave wisdom to her for the entire nation, that the people looked at them and said, what nation is this that has women like this that are so beautiful? Like, it scared them. They said, we have to get control of them, lest they take over the entire world. But guess what? There was nothing that they could do while Judith was on the scene. While Judith was alive, the nation of Israel lived in peace. And even many years after she passed, and she lived to be like 105 something years old. But even a long time after she died, they still lived under the rule of her peace and the favor that Yah had given her. We need to take that and apply this today. And we need to give this wisdom to our people out there on the streets so they can rein in the rebels that are among us, because they're taking that. And some of it is us. I can't lie. Some of it is our people. I'm telling y'all. If y'all have sons and daughters that are going out there to protest, I know everybody is furious. We are mad. We are fed up. But you must instruct your children. We are at war, and here is how you war. They have unruly friends. You have to tell them, listen, Rein in that anger. Let's redirect this anger. Tangela, I'm glad you came in. Thank you for coming in. Listen, share it. Tell these children, take that anger, redivert it to the enemy. And we are on enemy's territory. We live within the enemy's camp. We live around friends and foes all day long. First of all, we must identify who the enemy is. And right now, the real source, the true enemy, is this entire political racist system, which is pretty much led by the police. Everybody must know that. Know that it is not our neighborhood. We are not each other's enemy. It's those who are in power who are keeping us divided. They're keeping us divided so we can't stand together. Remember, a house divided cannot stand. Think about how they go out here and they break up these protests. They put plants in the middle of us and they break you up. They cut the protest off. They split up the people. What if you got your leader over here? Has anybody taken initiative? Okay, if our leader falls or if something happens to our leader, who is the next in line? Think about how this nation we live in operates. They operate in order, and so much order, and it's without fail, and it's flawless. I know, I'm prior military. I know how this world operates. And we have the privilege of being here and learning this system. There are so many people of color, black and brown, who are thoroughly in every institution, industry here. And every one of them has been touched by what's going on today, by the systematic racism, and we have to cut it off at the head. There is a group of people who want to see the racism keep going because they can keep the people divided and they can stay on top and they can continue to control the people. We cannot let that go on anymore. We must see the enemy, identify the enemy, and we need to cut it off at the head. At the head. Y'all, I'm going to give y'all some strategy. I don't know how many people are saying it, but you must know. Tell your people, rein in those children, those rebels among us. If your children, your teenage children, your older children, even these adults, you're going out here, listen. This is what we're going out here for. What is our purpose for these marches, for these protests? To let our voice be heard. Let them know we are not satisfied with the job that you are doing. Our people are dying. Our needs are not getting met. And that's why we voted you in office. Some people say we may not have control over the votes. I beg to differ. We don't have control over the votes yet because we don't have control over ourselves. And we have to know that we have been purposely divided so we cannot rise up. Now, when we rise up, we will not be tyrants. We will run this place righteously. Every person of color, don't matter what nationality you are, what color of your skin, everybody should be treated fairly. Yah has created all men equal, and all men should be treated fairly. Even when we come upon an enemy, we'll treat you fairly until you try to attack us. Then we will subdue you with least force as possible. And then we'll take it from there. There's a process of escalation and there's a process of de-escalation. Those who are out there doing these protests, they must know this. That's why I'm creating these posts and doing these hashtags. So when people search these hashtags, maybe they'll see this. Oh, wait, guys, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't loot, y'all. Don't loot. Especially, don't loot our own communities, guys. Come on. I understand and know that they had no care for us. They didn't care about our communities, and they've looted us from the time that they have brought us here. They've looted us. They've pillaged. They've taken everything from us. They've dropped bombs on us. I understand that. But let's fight in a way that Yah teaches us to fight. There's a better way to fight this. And we can fight this in a way to where we disarm the police officers. You know how they come out there ready with the rubber bullets and everything, with the spray guns? Let me tell you something. We go out here and protest, do it like King David armies did. Think about black people. What's one of the things that everybody know about black people? They make the best music, they the best dancers. Protesters. When you go out here, have some music playing. The ones who have the gifts, have music playing and stuff. Disarm them. We're not coming out here to make trouble. We're coming out here to make our voices heard. And you also must remember, you have to stay focused. Cover ground in a focused way and don't spread out too much, because when you spread out, you're able to be separated and you're able to be divided, and your purpose gets diluted and nothing is accomplished. So stay together. Have a target. Set perimeters. If you found out there's a plant among you, shout it. Let everybody know we got a plan among us. Hey, how you doing? You walking with us today? All right, let's go. You're going to witness change today. Don't hurt them. Don't taunt them or anything to make them feel like they need to lash out against us. We're trying to save as much blood and much bloodshed as possible. The mark of a true leader, the mark of true change, is a leader and a people who can approach their enemy and disarm their enemy with at the least amount of bloodshed as possible. Because sometimes our greatest enemy sometimes can become our greatest ally. And that's what we want to do. And because we're thoroughly mixed here in the United States, and we don't really know if our neighbor is a closet racist or not until things pop out, we don't really know that. So we have to move in a way where we're not scaring them, because we already think about it. Think about how we're treated. They react first without thinking, because the propaganda, everything that has been put out about people of color, black people, oh, they're violent, they're this, and this. No, let's disarm them. We're not a violent people. So when we go protest, let's not. I know some people say, oh, we tired of singing songs. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we need to move with wisdom, disarm them, right? So say if your say your target is, let's use Minneapolis, the police station that they burnt down, right? If your target is them, like seriously, if you in your city, you're marching, and you plan on marching for a month straight, have your targets. Before you go out there, create a plan. Find out all the businesses in your community who racially profiles people, who are known to be open racist people. I mean, it doesn't matter. It don't have to be against white people. It could be our very own people too. We're calling everybody into accountability. Every single person, the rebels among us and the rebels among them. Everybody needs to hold their own people accountable. That's how we can move forward. So you have a target, and use everything that we've been trained to use. Social media, y'all, websites, marketing. Here is how let me tell you the best way you can burn down a business. We don't need to burn down their businesses. We don't need to burn crosses in their yards. We don't need to burn down their houses. All we need to do is use the same strategy against them that they have been using against us in the court system all this time, guys. Use the pen and paper. Use the internet. Use social media. Here's what you do. And we ain't got to be secretive about it. Let it be known so all of us know. Here, listen. And people know. Let them be afraid that if I get out of line, somebody's watching, somebody's going to hold me accountable. And they don't really know who's going to hold them accountable. You have those outspoken ones like, yeah, she going to say something. But you don't really know. They got secret agents. We got gray men among us that's watching you, carefully calculating things that you are doing. And what we should do, we should create a website, create apps where people can download to their phone. If there are racist businesses in our town, put it up there. Put it in the app. This is a racist business. And don't just put it up there so we can't be hit with slander and defaming their name. No. Before we add them to our list, let's have 2 or 3 witnesses with proof of what they've done. Whether it's video, whether it's police reports, put them up there. Put the business up there. Put the owner of the business up there. Put the address of the business up there. Put the phone number of the business up there. Put the police precinct you called, you put the report into. If you then called the governor and somebody else, your House representatives and your senators, and they didn't do anything, put their names up there too. They got a terrorist list. Let's make a terrorist list. Make it an app available to all. Put them on the blacklist. We got a blackout day that that the people of color are doing this year to let them know that, hey, our dollars really will affect this country. If we decide to pull them away, you're going to be hurt. So we don't need to physically bust their windows and burn down their buildings. Let's bust their windows and burn down their buildings by removing money from their establishment. And we must let our people know this business is off limit. This business is hostile to people of color. Put it up there. Put it on social media. Make live posts. You saw that that restaurant called Kilroy's? They shut down their social media page. They created a new page. Everybody get up there, put it up, put them racist reviews up there. They shut it down. They thought they was about to open back up and do business like normal. Absolutely not. This is how we make change in the community, y'all. This is how we do it. This is how we burn down the city. This is how we burn down the buildings. We're going to burn down their house. We got people in there. I don't know how they do it, but they get the addresses of these crooked cops and they post it on social media. They be, look, I'm going to just sit this right here. Do with it what y'all want to do with it. Take that information. Put it on the site. Put them on a blacklist site. Let them know these people are racist against people of color. They could even be people of our own color, because I know some black racists. And it's not right. I don't agree with racism at all. Put them all on the blacklist. I don't care if they white, they black, they Chinese, they whatever they are. Native American, whatever. If you have a history of showing that you are biased against people and you show favor to people and you are just a danger to society, and everybody must know. Just like they got lists, pedophiles on your block, let's make a list of racists on your block. Let everybody know. Let's make them so uncomfortable that they decide to remove themselves. And all those ones in office, let's put them on notice. Let's let our people know. Listen, somebody said we need to change our thinking. We truly do, because they were the ones who destroyed our thinking and how we look at ourselves. But we have enough men and women in offices now. We should have more in industries, the medical industry, especially medical industry, because we have the medical examiners now falsifying reports about George Floyd, saying that like his pre-existing conditions and possible intoxicants could have contributed to his death. The entire world saw that cop kill him. That medical examiner needs to be held accountable too. We coming for your position. You better fix this report. Matter of fact, anything that's done, we need second and we need a third witness to verify your report. We are no longer taking your word. Put them out there. Put that medical examiner, his name, his hospital, everybody that they're connected to. Put them on the list. These people have been shown to be racist and to be biased against people of color and other nationalities. It doesn't just have to be black and white, because black and white is not the problem. It's a systematic racism like people have been saying, and we have to cut it off at the root. Guys, the solution is right in front of our face, but they're putting bait out there to keep us at a lower level and not thinking. So those among us who have some kind of influence, we have to talk to our people. Think about it. Think about how Malcolm X moved, right? The brothers and how they stood in ranks. They didn't break ranks at all. They literally had to go in there and infiltrate them from within to break them up. Same thing with Dr. Martin Luther King. Guys, when you unify, you must think about all these things ahead of time. Learn from our history. Pull it up. I would personally say, keep the protests going, but I think we need to pause for a quick second and regroup. We need to regroup and redirect this energy and really look at the purpose of us marching, because previous marching and quiet protests, it hasn't done a thing, because things go back to normal. There was nothing that was done to cause the people in office to change. They haven't been made uncomfortable enough. It's time to make them uncomfortable. Let's now put action behind our words, behind our sweet protesting. Let's change the approach. Let's let everybody know, okay, such and such sits in office, and there have been 27 complaints in the last month about this particular officer. The chief of police and the commissioner, they are not handling this. So let's go up the chain of command, and everybody who doesn't respond to this, let them know their name is going on the blacklist. Your name is going on, and as soon as it goes up there, record the conversations. Put them out. They record us. Record their conversation. Record everything. Use their the pen is mightier than a sword, y'all. They have taught us this from the day they put us in the public school system. The pen and the paper is mightier than a sword. Let's take that and let's use that against them. Use it against them and cause the people, like we're giving y'all this last chance to rein in the rebels among you and handle them yourselves. If you like your position, if you like the benefits that you get with being a public office servant, you had better take control of yourself. You better do something about the rebels that's in your police department. Now, These police that's out here taking knees with us, where were you before when they were killing us in the street? Don't take a knee with us now. We need to vet you. Because right now what you're trying to do, you're trying to pacify us. You're trying to keep your police precinct from being burnt down. No, we need to vet you before we allow you to stand with us. All right, Commissioner, Police Chief, you want to bow the knee and you want to kneel with us? Let's see. Give me the list of all the police officers, all the patrolmen, all the previous patrolmen that have been in here in your precinct under your rule, under your reign, in your department, everywhere, everything that you control. Let's get it out. If you want to kneel with us, let us know that we can trust you. Have you been out here active in our community? Or have you been out here dividing and conquering and separating and destroying our community? No, we don't want you kneeling with us, Mr. Police Officer. If your police precinct has been known to kill us, and those killers are still working for you, the killers are still working for you, yet you kneeling with us, get up. We don't want you here. You go clean up your house so we know that we can trust you, because right now we don't trust you. You are a plant and you are here to conquer and divide. You are here to woo us over by peace. You know this is war. You better clean up your house. And when you clean up your house, we'll know that there is a righteous segment of law enforcement that sits inside of your police precinct who are fighting from the inside. Now, I understand there are some police officers, they think about it, listen, I can't lose my job, this and this. And some of them, they're in positions where they may be righteous and they speak out and they lose their job and we may never hear about it, or they'll speak out. Some are becoming verbal and some have lost their job and they're coming out saying it. That is wrong. That means that the wickedness wants to pervade, and there are so many skeletons in the closet and they're trying to cover it up, and they don't want their people to, they are trying to protect the wickedness and they're trying to push the righteous people out. I'm telling you, just like we need them to back us, we need to back the righteous ones who are in there, who are having their voices quelled, who can't say anything because a wicked person is over them. You know what? Let's do this. Y'all, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. Listen. Everybody who has a mindset to do what's right and who is righteous and want to see righteous judgment in this land, everybody who we see, everybody who holds office that we found out is wicked, we have a position. We ain't going to wait for the police department to put it out. We're not going to wait for the police department to put it out that there is a position open. We, the people, will let the people of the land know that there is a position up for grabs. Officer Johnson is not performing his duties. His position is on the block. Let's train our people. When you get in here, let's tell them and teach them about the wickedness that's going on. This is what we don't do. This is what we do. We got a police chief on the inside who's covering up wickedness. There's a position coming open for a police chief, and once we get on the road with this, y'all, people who are righteous on the inside, they'll be strengthened by the power and the strength that they see coming from the outside. We will back you if you back us. Root the wicked people among you out of there. We stand behind you and you can stand behind us. When we see you doing that, we will allow you to kneel with us. That's how we fix the problems. When you call your senators and your House of Representatives and your governors and they don't want to do anything, and you let them know we got these petitions signed and they're still killing people and nobody's saying anything, they just sweep it under the rug. And you know what, let's go ahead and talk about China today and won't even take questions. Your position is up. You know, you got 2 years. 2 years it's up for grabs according to the statutes the United States has put out. You got a 2-year term. Okay, in 2 years we need not just one person but a couple people, and they can be friends. We don't need our people battling against each other to take positions. Say if me and my sister was running for this one position, okay, we're going to run a good campaign. We are not going to be each other enemies. We are not going to smear one another on a campaign. Look at what they're doing when they run for office. They smear one another. They constantly keep the people divided. You don't want to do that. You want to create friends on the way. You don't want to create enemies. You don't want to create enemies, because when you get in office, you need some righteous friends that you can promote and put through there. They've been doing it all along. It's the good old boys club. They get their wicked people in and they continue to lord over the people. We would not have it. A city that's ran by wicked people is a city broken down with no walls. You got tyrants running around, and it is a disgusting thing, and I am tired of it. Our people are tired of it. So guys, that's how we burn down these businesses. When we mark the businesses, mark them, put them on social media. This business, such and such and such, Kilroy's Cafe or Kilroy's Restaurant, address, here, phone number, here. And this is public information. You can go down to the city and get the list of the business and the owners. I know I'm a business owner. You can go get all this stuff. Get it put up there. Public information. When you put it up there, guys, you know how they teach us to do. I'm making sure when we do this, we do it the proper way because we're using that system. Let's not leave any leaf unturned. Let's cover all the loopholes too. So when you put that information, cite your resources. Cite your resources. If you're pulling it from the public site, which they make it public for all the citizens, pull it. Cite your resources. Here. They put it out here. Let the people know. Put it out there. We got these positions coming open. That's how we're going to know. Nobody is allowed. I mean, you can't tell people they can't go patronize a business. You really can't. But let's put the pressure on so much that they won't be able in good conscience to go. Example. You seen nail shops with the maybe it's Korean or the Asian shops and how they do our black women wrong. How they you seen the videos. I ain't even got to get into that. Okay, you can do that. Let's see, Cho's nail shop. If Cho has had a history of being discriminatory to people of color, put Cho's nail shop on that list. His address, his phone number. If you got the list of the employees and the workers, they'll put all of them up there too. Let's make them ashamed to be racist today. Let's make them want to do what's right. Either you're going to do what's right while you're here and do right by all people, or you got to go. And we ain't going to do it by force with our hands. We're going to do it by force with a pen and paper. We'll make you so uncomfortable and make you think about what you're doing. Either you're going to run a righteous business and you're going to treat the people fairly, or you're not going to do business at all. We just will not patronize you. And for those of us, our people who still patronize the nail shops and we see them, you walk in there, you make your voice known. Hey, sis, you know that this business is on the blacklist, that they are discriminatory to black people. Call them out. They may not know. They may know and be like, oh, girl, okay, I got to get my nails done. We have enough talented people of color who can do your nails, who can do your feet, who can do your eyebrows, who can do your makeup. We were trained by the best, baby. We live in Babylon. They trained us. We are skilled in the art of war. They taught us their best tactics. Think about it. Let's use it. That's how we bring change here, y'all. That's how we bring change here. I know I said I was going to keep these comments to after the reading, but I don't know. It just started coming on. So that's how we do it, y'all. That's how we do it. That's how we change. So anybody you know that's out there protesting, talk to them. Really, man, this is what we do. All of us who have the skills to create apps and stuff, create an app. Let everybody know. Look, start putting not just in your city, but everywhere. Make it available. Make it international. Because our brothers and sisters in Africa are going through the same thing. Our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, in Oceania, everywhere to the four corners of the earth, they're going through the same thing. Do it. Make it available to all our people to the four corners of the earth. Let them know. Put them all on the blacklist. We built this country. Are you going to treat us fairly? Or we will pull our money from your business and let you burn to the ground. Let your own people patronize you. I mean, is that the right word? Let your own people shop at your business. And let's see if you can stay open. You may be able to, and that's okay. But just know that those who you discriminate against, we will not be party to your cause. We will not give you our dollars while you are being biased against us. We'll take our money, our dollars somewhere to where we are appreciated. Guys, pull your children out of these racist schools. I mean, some may not be able to, but there are enough teachers among us and there's enough people among us. We got enough land among us, and even the land that we don't have, we got people in here who know how to get that land legally and distribute this land, and we'll begin to rebuild our own schools and teach our people, and we'll train our people. We'll put programs back in school that will empower them when they get out. Let's put a government program in school to teach them this is how you operate in business. Let's give them everything. Let's not hide history. Let's teach them how it should be done. Let's show them how it was done and how we had the terrible outcome and how we ended up here today. Let's show them all of that and teach them how to walk in their position righteously. And when you get in a position, have the mind to go further. Go up to the Supreme Court. Don't just stay low level. If you have the capability and the leadership ability to move ahead, to make a greater change, move up. But before you move up, know who's coming behind you. Train your replacement. That's what we need to do, y'all. When we out here and we get scattered, when our leaders die and we're scattered like sheep, why? Because there was nobody else to take his place. Y'all seen the movie Glory with Denzel Washington? He said, and if I should fall, who will take up the mantle and carry on? They step up, I will. Don't let them scatter our ranks anymore, y'all. Don't let them scatter our ranks. There must be people who are willing to step up and take the place if they take one of our leaders out. There has to be. There is the only way that we can see this all the way through. And we're not doing it with violence. We're going to do it with the tactics they've been using against us from the day that they brought us here to this land. From even before the time that they brought us here, from the Spanish Inquisition, they come in and they befriend us. Befriend us, learn our ways, act like they are part of us. They become a gray man. Oh, we are just like, we friends. No. You have to prove yourself nowadays. We need to vet you. So everything, guys, we have everything at our disposal that we need to make a change. We just need to think. Quit letting them play on our emotions. That's what's happening. We can't think because our emotions are riled up. Yes, they taught us to loot. They taught us to steal. They taught us to kill. But let's take that, redirect it. Because when they realize that they can no longer divide and conquer us, they're going to have to do something different. And there always has to be watchmen among us who are watching the strategies and what they're trying to do. Guys, you see them take a pallet of bricks and put it out there for the opportunists and the rebels among us to take and begin destroying property? Don't do that. If y'all see that happening, hey, this is off limits. Set some around it. Keep some guard. No, nobody touches this. Nobody touches this. And record it the whole time. Nobody touches this. This is a plant and they are trying to do us in. No. We will not do this. Do not touch this pallet of bricks. Do not bust those windows. If we want to bust them windows, is this a racist business? First of all, let's identify this business. Is this business already on our enemy list? Has this business already been verified to be somebody who is biased against people of color or anybody? Or have they been proven to be racist? If so, here's the way we burn them to the ground. Stop patronizing them. We will no longer come to this business. This business is off limits, and we keep on going. Keep our ranks tight, keep them focused, and move together. Everybody moves together. Chart out your territory. Don't try and do it all in one night. This happened. This is going to take time, and we must set it out day by. If you want to protest every day, okay, they set curfew. Follow the curfew, y'all. And anybody that's out there, and keep control of your people. Anybody that's out there after curfew, they are not from among us, and you let it be known. Let your people know, okay? They set a curfew. In Seattle, Washington, where my brother is at, they set a 5 p.m. curfew. Okay? All right, y'all. There's a 5 p.m. curfew. Let's wrap it up. Everybody peacefully go home. You got trash, pick it up. Remember, because we're protesting where we live. People are making a very, very valid point about that on both sides. Don't tear down the business in your community. Cool. But also, we're mad about what this community and the people who run this community have been doing to the people who live here. I understand both sides. Let's all work together. We can all work together by using this strategy. And this strategy has been here for the taking and for the making. It has been used against us from day one. Guys, let's regroup. Pause for a second. Regroup. And let's go back out here. When you march, you can be peaceful. Use that. Be peaceful. Everybody like music. Everybody like our music, so make some music. I don't care if you got a radio or somebody got a mic, or we got the kids out of school, the high school students, they out there marching too. You're a part of the marching band. You got your instruments. This is the song we're going to march to. Do it like a parade, y'all. Disarm the police. They're already coming out there on high alert. Disarm them. Hey, we don't want you to be our enemy. We want you to help us stop this systematic racism that's going on. And you got to think about it. Some of them out there, they don't want to be out there fighting against us because some of them are just like us, but they stand in that office. So they're torn. Let's help them not be torn. Let's help them work with us. Okay? Because they're on the inside and we need people on the inside. If we can stay under control, the people on the inside will have more to work with. Well, listen to what they're saying. And we'll go out there, y'all. If we're going to stop in front of the courthouse, make sure you got your list of demands of everything that what we're protesting for, what we want them to hear. Have it out. Do like Michael X did. When you get out there and it's time to, if you got a chant going on, I can't breathe, or no justice, no peace, do that. But there needs to be like a command or something where everybody is quiet, so whoever is going to speak, and let them know what we are asking for, what we are demanding at this point. And the people who are in office, we're demanding that you clean up your act and do what's right, do proper justice immediately, and don't draw it out. Everybody be quiet. Have bullhorns out there. Have something speaker so your voice can be heard. It's going to be heard across the world because people are going to be recorded. Do it differently, y'all. Do it organized. Be strategized. And I'm telling you, we will make so much more of an impact doing it this way that it will blow your mind. And more people will see it, because you got people watching that can't be out there, that want to be out there. There's people that don't really understand about racism because they haven't really been in our shoes. They're not black, so they don't have a filter for it. They can't see it, and they just think, oh, they're opportunities. Oh no, they just want free stuff. No, you don't understand. So let's teach them. But we have to do it in a way where we can open them up so they'll at least be willing to listen. Because right now, the way we're going about it, they're not even willing to listen. Everybody is in fight and flight and protect their own self and their own people. We got to disarm them some way, y'all. We need to disarm the people we need the help from. Let's not destroy our cause before we can even get it started good. This has been a ongoing thing since way before Rodney King. I remember that in my early years watching this, I'm just like, but this has been going on for such a very long time. But it's the same tactics that they've been using all along. And we get a little bit of unity among us, just know that they have set a plan. And also know that the plant sometimes is not somebody of another color. Sometimes that very plant comes from right among us. Somebody from among us who is not whole. Somebody who can be bribed because they are broken. Understand how they operate and they play on human behavior. If somebody is struggling for money, it's easier for them to take a bribe. So for you who are going to run for office, if your financial affairs are not in order, do not run for office, because let me let you know about a tactic for those who run for office and actually get in. They want to hem you up before you even get started, so you can never speak out against them. That's why we got so many quiet people sitting in the House of Representatives and sitting in the Senate and sitting in Congress that are not doing anything, and people don't understand. Because when they get in there, they got connections with billionaires and people with the insider trading, and that gives tips and stuff. We'll let you know a little something that's not illegal, but this, you might want to consider this. And you get a nice little windfall from that. Now, they have locked you in, and you cannot dare speak against them. They always get something on you first, so they can use against you. Don't let that be you. Think ahead. Be smart. Clean your life up first, so that when you run for office, think about when you run for office, they dig in your past. If you're going to run for office, turn around and deal with your past, confront your past. If it's something that's terrible, but you have truly made a change, and a God honest change, you must put that out there before they can dig that up on you. Before you even open your mouth to run, there must be a strategy already set out for you where you put yourself on blast first. You have to control the narrative of that first before they do. Because if you don't let it be known first, what they do, look at what they take it, and they make a storm around you to where people have to drop out. You kill yourself before you even get going. So there's some strategy for you. Let's use what they've been using against us all the time. And us doing that, there will be no bloodshed. But yet we would get our point across. And when we do this, we must stand behind our word, and we must be silent, and we must be firm. You know why African tribes, they wear masks? They wear masks to intimidate their opponent. Think about animals, lions, snakes. How they intimidate. That's why they wear the mask. And sometimes you have to show some intimidation. By us getting out there and putting their names on the list and calling them out, we're intimidating them. We're causing them to get afraid. We want you to shake in your boots, because if you take an office that you sworn to protect and serve the people, know that we are coming for you. We are coming for you quickly, because we cannot let this go on. And the first person that sees something and you don't say anything, you are guilty to that crime they're committing, and we're going to deal with you too. There cannot be any sin among the camp. Everybody has to hold everybody accountable. I don't care who you are. All right. I'm done. I was going to save that to the end, but I guess it came out first. So now we're going to go ahead and do our reading for the day. And most of y'all probably won't stick for this, but anyway, what I'm about to read here is the same exact strategy. Judith prays a prayer to Yah about the destruction that's going on with her people, and Yah has given her strategy. Here's what you do, because you can win more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. All right. So thank you all. If y'all drop out, thanks for coming in. Share the video. Let people know. Think about this strategy, guys. Share it with people. Let our people know. Really, our young people, let them know. Listen, this is our purpose. This is what we do. We don't go out here tearing up people's stuff. Don't go out here acting a fool. And if you see these videos with them looting, you see somebody child up there, take that video, show it to their mama. Johnny is out there. Girl, whoop his tail. Get them. You deal with your own children, your own people, your own community before outsiders have to come do it. That's where we have been lacking. We have not been controlling our own people. Same thing that the police is doing. They are not controlling their own people. So because you don't want to hold your people accountable, we're going to hold them accountable. Same thing, back and forth, vice versa. So get your children, get a rein on them, teach them what protesting is really about. Teach them proper order and how to do this the right way. Teach them strategy, teach them young so that they will grow up with this mentality that this is the proper way to do things. This is how we make change in our communities. When we change ourselves, we can change our families. Our families can change our communities. Communities can change our cities. Our cities can change our states. Our states can change the world. Now you got the righteousness flowing from the inside out, not trying to affect it from the outside in. It has to start at home. Get control of your sons and daughters, because they are going to kill our cause before we can even get it started good. And I say me and my sisters, we had to say the same thing to a couple of our teenagers, even yesterday, who, when there are protests going on out here, listen, if you go out here, this is what you better do. You better not throw that nail brick. You better be inside. And if your friends are around, you better let them know this is not what we do. We live here. We don't tear up our stuff. We target the enemy. We're going to the enemy's house. We're going to the enemy's camp, and we're going to stand out there, and we're going to surround the camp and let you know, listen, we are not happy with the job that you are doing. And if you don't do something, we're going to burn your house down. And not burn it down physically, but we're going to burn you down. We're going to put your name out there on blast, but we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you one more chance, because you've had multiple chances over the years that you've gotten that the police on the inside didn't do anything with you. So we'll give you one chance. One chance. Fix this. You did this, go turn yourself in. You going to turn yourself in? It needs to be all that needs to happen. That's how we do it. We put their name on that blacklist. Let everybody know he's a murderer. He's a killer. Here is it. And I hate to do this, y'all, but they got social media pages unless they do it. But they begin to fear for their family if they have families, and people see that they're families. But here's what I want to say: don't go after their wives and their children. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go after them. Because that's also a rule that Yah set out in his Torah. He said, the sons and daughters shall not be, and I posted here in the comment section, the sons and daughters shall not be crucified pretty much for the sins of the father, but the one who did the crime is the one who needs to do the time. But if you were in cahoots, and if you were there and you knew what was going on and you didn't do anything about it, then you need to be charged too. All right, so that's how we handle that, y'all. So that's how we make change. That's how we get a hold on everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do the prayer that Judith did to call for extra backup help from heaven as they were putting boots on the ground in the physical realm. Same thing that Esther did. Same thing. They were killing, or they put out the decree to kill the people. And no, we cannot have this, so we need to do something physically, but we also know that this is a spiritual thing. Racism is a spiritual thing, and we need help from Yah. So we'll do what we do here in the natural realm and let him handle the spiritual realm and be that backup for us, and let him be the one that also move on people's heart and convict them. Because we put them out there and we'll hold their feet to the fire, but Yahuwah is the one who really breaks the heart and convicts it and causes them to repent and turn from what they're doing and become a righteous person. It don't matter where you are or whatever. We can all live in unity here. All right, so I'm done with that. But listen to the story and how this plays out. This is her prayer. Chapter 9, Judith chapter 9. Judith fell on her face and put ashes upon her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of the evening was offered in Jerusalem, in the house of Yahuwah, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Yahuwah Elohim, of my father Simeon, to whom you gave a sword to take vengeance of the strangers, who loosened the belt of a maid to defile her, and discovered the thigh of her shame, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. For you said, it shall not be so, and yet they did so. Wherefore you gave their rulers to be slain, so that they dyed their bed in blood, being deceived, and smote the servants with their lords, and the lords upon their thrones. And they have given their women for a prey, and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoils to be divided among your dear children, which were moved with your zeal, and harbored the pollution of their blood, and called upon you for aid. O Elohim, O Elohai, hear me, also a widow. For you have wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after. You have thought upon the things which are now and which are to come. Yea, what things you did determine were ready at hand, and said, Lo, we are here. For all your ways are prepared, and your judgments are in your foreknowledge. For behold, Asher is multiplied in their power, and they are exalted with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear and bow and sling. Don't that sound like the police? Don't that sound like the police? They glory in their strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear and bow and sling. And know not that you are Yahuwah that break the battles. And that's who we need behind us, Yahuwah that breaks the battles. And if he's going to be behind us to break the battles, we got to use the strategy and break the battles like he taught us to do all through his Torah. Throw down their strength. Yahuwah is your name. Throw down their strength and your power, and bring down their force in your wrath. For they have purpose to defile your sanctuary, and to pollute the tabernacle where your glorious name rests, and to cast down with the sword the horn of your altar. Behold, their pride, and send your wrath upon their heads. Give into my hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived. Smite by the deceit of my lips the servant with the prince, and the prince with the servant. Break down their stateliness by the hand of a woman. For your power stands not in a multitude, nor your might in strong men. For you are an Elohim of the afflicted, a helper of the oppressed, an upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. I pray you, O Elohim of my father, and Elohim of the inheritance of Israel, Yahuwah of the heavens and earth, creator of the waters, king of every creature, hear my prayer. And make my speech and deceit to be their wound and stripe, whom have purposed cruel things against your covenant and your sanctified house, and against the top of Zion, and against the house of the possession of your children. And make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that you are the Elohim of all power and might, and that there is none other that protects the people of Israel but you. Bruh, that is Judith's prayer. Now let's look at how they carried this out. Chapter 10. Now after that she had ceased to cry unto the Elohim of Israel, and had made an end of all these words, she rose where she had fallen down, and called her maid, and went down into the house in which she abode on the Sabbath and in her feast days, and pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put a tire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness, wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her man. And she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her bracelets and her chains and her rings and her earrings and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her. I'm telling you, you win more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And this is the strategy. Judith used this strategy that I'm telling y'all to use, and we can overcome. And nobody will be hurt. Then she gave her maid a bottle of wine and a cruse of oil, and filled a bag with parched grain and lumps of figs and with fine bread. So she folded all these things together and laid them upon her. Thus she went forth to the gate of the city to Beth-ulah, and found standing there Uzziah and the ancients of the city, Chabris and Charmis. And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly. I'm telling y'all change y'all state of mind when y'all go out there, you're going to catch them off guard. I'm telling you, you have to lower their defenses. Like, wait, they're not right? This is really a peaceful thing? What is going on here? I'm telling you. And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered, and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly, and said unto her, the Elohim of our fathers, give you favor and accomplish your enterprise to the glory of the children of Israel, and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worshipped Elohim. And she said unto them, command the gates of the city to be opened unto me, that I may go forth to accomplish the things whereof ye have spoken with me. So they commanded the young man to open unto her as she had spoken. And when they had done so, Judith went out, and she and her maid with her. And the men of the city looked after her until she was going down the mountain, until she passed by the valley and could see her no more. Thus they went straight forth in the valley, and the first watch of Asher met her, and took her, and asked her, of what people are you? And whence do you come? And whither do you go? And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews, and I am fled from them, for they shall be given to you to be consumed. And I am coming before Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare the words of truth. And I will show him a way whereby he shall go and win all the hill country without losing a body or life of any one of his men. Now when the men heard her words and beheld her countenance, they wondered greatly at her beauty, and said unto her, you have saved your life, and that you have hastened to come down to the presence of our Lord. Now therefore come to his tent, and some of us shall conduct you until they have delivered you into his hands. And when you stand before him, be not afraid in your heart, but show unto him according to your word, and he will entreat you well. Then they chose out of them 100 men to accompany her and her maid, and they brought her to the tent of Holofernes. Then there was concourse throughout the camp, for her coming was noised among all the tents. And they came about her, and she stood without the tent of Holofernes, till they told him of her. And they wondered at her beauty, and admired the children of Israel because of her. And everyone said to his neighbor, who would despise this people that have among them such women? Surely it is not good that one man of them be left, who might be let go, who might be able to deceive the whole earth. And they that lay near Holofernes went out, and all his servants, and they that brought her into his tent. Now Holofernes rested upon his bed under a canopy, which was woven with purple and gold and emeralds and precious stones. So they showed him of her, and he came out before his tent with silver lamps going before him. And when Judith was come before him and his servants, they all marveled at the beauty of her countenance, and she fell upon her face and did reverence unto him, and his servants took her up. Chapter 11. Then said Holofernes unto her, woman, be of good comfort. Fear not in your heart, for I never heard any that was willing to serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth. Now therefore, if your people that dwell in the mountains had not set light by me, I would not have lifted up my spear against them, but they have done these things to themselves. But now tell me wherefore you are fled from them, and are come unto us, for you are come for safeguard. Be of good comfort, you shall live this night and hereafter. For none shall hurt you, but entreat you well, as they do the servants of King Nebuchadnezzar my lord. Then Judah said unto him, receive the words of your servant, and suffer your handmaid to speak in your presence, and I will declare no lie to my lord this night. And if you will follow the words of your handmaid, Elohim will bring the thing perfectly to pass by you, and my lord shall not fail in his purposes. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, lives, and as his power lives, who has sent you forth for the upholding of every living thing, for not only men shall serve him by you, but also the beasts of the field, and the cattle, and the fowls of the air shall live by your power under Nebuchadnezzar and all his house. For we have heard of your wisdom and your policies, and it is reported in all the earth that you only are excellent in all the kingdom, and mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. Now, as concerning the matter which Achor did speak in your council, We have heard his words, for the men of Beulah saved him, and he declared unto all them that what he had spoken unto you. Therefore, O Lord and governor, respect not his word, but lay it up in your heart, for it is true. For our nation shall not be punished, neither can sword prevail against him, except they sin against their Elohim. And now, that my Lord be not defeated and frustrated of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them, and their sin has overtaken them, wherewith they will provoke their Elohim to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done. For their victuals fail them, and all their water is scant. And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle, and purpose to consume all those things that Elohim has forbidden them to eat by his Torah. And they are resolved to spend the first fruits of the tents of wine and oil, which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests that serve in Jerusalem before the face of our God. Which things it is against the Torah of any of the people, so much as to touch with their hands. For they have sent some to Jerusalem, because they also that dwell there have done the like, to bring them a license from the Senate. Now when they shall bring them word, they will forthwith do it, and they shall be given unto you to be destroyed the same day. Wherefore I, your handmaid, knowing all this, am fled from their presence, and Elohim has sent me to work things with you, whereat all the earth shall be astonished, and whosoever shall hear it. For your servant is devout, and serves Elohim of heaven day and night. Now therefore, my Lord, I will remain with you, and your servant will go out by night into the valley, and I will pray unto Elohim, and he will tell me when they have committed their sins, and I will come and show it unto you. Then you shall go forth with all your army, and there shall be none of them that shall resist, you. And I will lead you through the midst of Judah, until you come before Jerusalem, and I will set your throne in the midst thereof, and you shall drive them as a sheep that has no shepherd, and a dog shall not so much as open his mouth at you. For these things were told me according to my foreknowledge, and they were declared unto me, and I am sent to tell you. Then her words pleased Holofernes and all his servants, and they marveled at her wisdom, and said, There is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other, both for beauty of face and wisdom of words. Likewise Holofernes said unto her, Elohim has done well to send you before the people, that strength might be in our hands, and destruction upon them that lightly regard my Lord. Now you are both beautiful in your countenance and witty in your words. Surely if you do as you have spoken, your Elohim shall be my Elohim, and you shall dwell in the house of King Nebuchadnezzar, and shall be renowned throughout the whole earth. Last chapter for the day, y'all, chapter 12. Then he commanded to bring her in where his plate was set, and bade that they should prepare for her of his own meats, and that she should drink of his own wine. And Judah said, I will not eat thereof, lest there be an offense, but provision shall be made for me of the things that I have bought. Then Holofernes said unto her, If your provision should fail, how shall we give you the like? For there be none with us of your nation. Then said Judith unto him, As your soul lives, my lord, your handmaid shall not spend those things that I have before Yahuwah. Work by my hand the things that he has determined. Then the servants of Holofernes brought her into the tent, and she slept till midnight, and she arose when it was toward the morning watch. And she sent to Holofernes, saying, Let my lord now command that your handmaid may go forth unto prayer. Then Holofernes commanded his guard that they should not stay her. Thus she abode in the camp 3 days, and went out in the night into the valley of Beulah, and washed herself in the fountain of water by the camp. And when she came out, she besought Yahuwah Elohim of Israel to direct her way to the raising up of the children of her people. So she came in clean, and remained in a tent until she did eat her meat at evening. And in the 4th day Holofernes made a feast unto his own servants only, and called none of the officers to the banquet. Then said he to Begoas the eunuch, who had charge over all that he had, Go now and persuade this Hebrew woman which is with you, that she come unto us and eat and drink with us. For lo, it would be a shame for our person if we let such a woman go, not having had her company. For if we draw not her unto us, she will laugh us to scorn. Then went Begoas to her from the presence of Holofernes, and came to her, and he said, Let not this fair damsel feared to come to my Lord and be honored in his presence and drink wine and be merry with us and be made this day as one of the daughters of Asher, which serve in the house of Nebuchadnezzar. Then said Judith unto him, Who am I now that I should gainsay my Lord? Surely whatsoever pleases him I will do speedily, and it shall be my joy unto the day of my death. So she arose and decked herself with her apparel and all her women's attire, and her maid went and laid soft skins on the ground for her over against Holofernes, which she had received of Boaz for her daily use, that she might sit and eat upon them. Now when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes in his heart was ravished with her, and his maid was moved, and he desired greatly her company, for he waited a time to deceive her from the day that he had seen her. Then said Holofernes unto her, Drink now and be merry with us. So Judith said, I will drink now, my Lord, because my life is magnified in me this day more than all the days since I was born. Then she took and ate and drank before him what her maid had prepared. And Holofernes took great delight in her and drank more wine than he had drunk at any time in any one day since he was born. Guys, I'm going to just go ahead and read this next chapter so you can see what happens. This is not supposed to be read until tomorrow, but I can't leave you here with what we was just talking about. I can't leave you hanging. Okay, 13. Now when the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart, and Boaz shut his tent without and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his Lord, and they went to their beds. Let me just bring out a point. See, from the time she entered in, think about it, that the strategies that they had been using to conquer and divide our people, she got smart. She went in. We're going to use honey to get inside of their camp, and we're going to infiltrate them, and we're going to let it go. We're going to direct it in the way that we want it to go. But he had always been plotting on her from the day that she came in. It said it. From the day that she came. I read that. He said, Now when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes in his heart was ravished with her, and his mind was moved, and he desired greatly her company, for he waited a time to deceive her from the day he had seen her. Remember, they never stopped plotting. Now when the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart, and Boaz shut his tent without and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his Lord. And they went to their beds, for they were all weary, because the feast had been long. And Judith was left alone in the tent, and Holofernes lying upon his bed, for he was filled with wine. Now Judith had commanded her maid to stand without her bedchamber and to wait for her coming forth, and she did daily. For she said she would go forth to her prayers, and she spoke to Boaz according to the same purpose. So all went forth, and none was left in the bedchamber, neither little nor great. For Judith, standing by his bed, said in her heart, O Yahuwah Elohim of all power, look at this present upon the works of my hand. Look at this present upon the works of my hands for the exaltation of Jerusalem. For now is the time to help your inheritance and to execute your enterprise to the destruction of the enemies which are risen against us. Then she came to the pillars of the bed, which was at Holofernes' head, and took down his falchion from thence. And she approached his bed, and took hold of the hair of his head, and said, Strengthen me, O Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, this day. And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might, and she took away his head from him, and tumbled his body down from the bed, and pulled down the canopy from the pillars, and immediately she went forth and gave Holofernes his head to her maid. And she put it in her bag of meat. So they two went together according to their custom unto prayer. And when they passed the camp, they compassed the valley and went up the mountain of Beulah and came to the gates thereof. And that's exactly how we need to go and cut off the head of racism that's going in here. We need to infiltrate the camps, use honey, get in there and get to the root of it. Cut off the head and let the body fall. Put that head in a bag of meat we got and take it. Yeah, we did it. Let your glory reign upon this earth. Cause peace. Let the people live in peace now. I'm telling you. We're reading the book of Judith, which was not canonized, but it's a part of the Apocrypha. Some Bibles actually have it in there. So this is Judith chapter 13. We're at verse 11. Then said Judith afar off to the watchman at the gate, Open, open now the gate. Elohim, even our Elohim, is with us to show us his power yet in Jerusalem and his forces against the enemy, even as he has done this day. Now when the men of her city heard her voice, they made haste to go down to the gate of their city and called the elders of the city. And then they all ran together, both small and great, for it was strange unto them that she was come. So they opened the gate and received them, and made a fire for light, and stood round about them. Then she said to them with a loud voice, Praise, praise Elohim, praise Elohim. I say, for he has not taken away his mercy from the house of Israel, but has destroyed our enemies by my hands this night. So she took the head out of the bed. So she took the head out of the bag and showed it, and said unto them, Behold, the head of Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Asher, and behold the canopy wherein he did lie in his drunkenness. And Yahuwah has smitten him by the hand of a woman. As Yahuwah lives, who has kept me in my way that I went, my countenance has deceived him to his destruction, and yet he has not committed sin with me to defile and shame me, meaning he hadn't slept with her. So she wasn't defiled in her purpose. You know how they send in people to infiltrate? They use women. Okay, we need to, because some people don't have control over their own flesh. They send women in as plants, and they infiltrate you with sex. You have to have complete control over yourself if you're going to move in this movement, if you're going to help our people. Then all the people were wonderfully astonished and bowed themselves and worshipped Elohim and said with one accord, Bless you, O Eloheinu, which this day has brought to naught the enemies of your people. Then said Uzziah unto her, O daughter, blessed are you of El Elyon above all women upon the earth. Blessed be Yahuwah Elohim, which has created the heavens and the earth, which has directed you to the cutting off of the head of the chief of our enemies. For this your confidence shall not depart from the heart of men, which remember the power of Elohim forever. And Elohim turn these things to you for a perpetual praise, to visit you in good things, because you have not spared your life for the affliction of our nation, but have revenged our ruin, walking a straight way before our Elohim. And all the people said, So be it. So be it. I'm telling y'all, we need to move like Judith today. We need to move like Judith. We need to learn their strategy, which they have been using, and turn it against them. Go in there sweetly, disarm them, and cut off the head of racism, and let the body fall, and let the people live in peace, and let the people once again rejoice in the land. And nobody has to live in fear or in terror, or have to give pep talks to their children before they leave out the house for fear that some ignorant person of another color might take their life because they feel like it, and they know they're going to get away with it because the color of their skin. Not today, not anymore. Thank y'all for joining in for today's reading. It is May the 31st, 2020. We are on day 160 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. And this was the book of Judith. We reread chapter 9, her prayer. Then we read today's reading 10, 11, and 12. And I had to add one chapter from tomorrow on today, which I will reread tomorrow. Because I wanted you to see the outcome of the strategy that was used, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed it. And you learn all this stuff just by reading through the Old Testament. It teaches you strategy. Like, our people could be using this, but the way that they got the church set up, most of the churches are agents of the state. A lot of people don't know. When you take that 501c3 status, you can't speak out against certain things that's going on. That's why they can shut churches down. They can shut down pastors, because you speak out against this, we'll take your church from you. Some people are so in love with money that they can be bribed with anything. I'm telling you, get yourself in order. When you can change yourself and you walk righteously and you can't be bribed, you will be a force to be reckoned with. And we need you here on the front lines helping our people. We need you to come out here and put your link in the chain and make us stronger and make us longer until we can reach around this entire earth. To all people, give praise unto Yah, because we are living here unafraid, and we're enjoying the blessings, and we are inheriting the earth that he said he will leave unto the righteous. He said the righteous shall inherit the earth, and the wicked shall be rooted out. So let's help uproot the wicked from this place. All right, y'all, I love y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and bless y'all. Yahuwah said, you bless my people this way, and it is found in Numbers chapter 6. verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right. I love y'all. I will see y'all bright and early in the morning. Peace.